Print on demand has changed my life in more ways than one, and with the rising costs of everything and wages not really seeming to keep up, it seems like everyone could use a little extra income every single month, and print on demand I think is a great way to do this. In my just about 3 years as a print on demand seller, I've learned so much, made a lot of mistakes, observed how this business has evolved and changed, and developed some strategies to actually make sales and make a sustainable business work. I'm Hannah, and in this video I'm going to share some of my best tips for new sellers to create a really successful print-on-demand business, or for sellers who have been at this for a while but just haven't found what actually is working for them. Make sure you stick around and subscribe below for new videos about print-on-demand and making passive income every single week. My first and one of the most important tips that new sellers could take and run with, and something that is actually going to really impact the quality of your business and the amount of sales you're going to make, is to learn how to do some basic design styles. In my opinion, there are really 4 that you would need to know, and you'd be able to create almost any type of design you wanted to. And those are, first, just an all text design like these here. This could be just standard block letters, it could be in a script font, or it could be in a groovy, wavy font like we've been seeing a lot lately. But all text designs are ones that sell all of the time for me, so I think this is a really important style to have in your arsenal. The next design style that you should know how to do is a graphic plus a text. This is probably the bulk of all t-shirt designs out there. There'll be one graphical element, and then you'll have some text around it. This could either be one line of text just at the bottom or top, or you could kind of sandwich the graphic between 2 different lines of text. This is a great one to master, and you can do all sorts of different niches and designs just knowing this style. The next one is to know how to do a circle graphic with text surrounding it. So once again, this is really similar to that last one, except you're adding a little bit more interest just by making everything circular. Right away, this just makes it look a little bit more professional and more interesting, and it's not hard at all to do. One of my favorite sites to find some of these circle type graphics are going to be All Sunsets. They have a bunch of graphics you can download and just add some text on Canva or another design software to make it super easy. And then the last design style that you should definitely master and know how to do is just an all graphic design. So this can be as simple as the entire shirt having a graphic on it, or you can create something like these where it's a collection of a bunch of different graphics like flowers, something in one specific niche. So these create a lot of interest, and even without text on them, they sell very, very well. Even if you're not a great designer, I think it's really important that you master what some of these basic t-shirt designs are. That is going to help you be able to create almost any type of niche or design you could want to create. I have quite a few design tutorials here on my own YouTube, and another YouTuber that is probably the expert when it comes to all things designing print-on-demand shirts is going to be Juna from Detour Shirts. So make sure you check out his channel too for all sorts of tutorials about how to make a great t-shirt design. The next piece of advice that I love to give to new sellers, and I think it is really important to grasp if you're going to make this a business that is going to be sustainable and make you a lot of profit long term, and that is that you have to start going for low competition niches. I think there are tons of people that come into this business and they see what these top trending shirts are. They try to make something that even maybe it's a great design, but it's in a niche with so much competition, and they are seeing no sales even though their designs are really good. Really, to break into this business, especially when you are just getting started, if you're selling on Amazon, you're in a lower tier, you're very limited to how many items you can actually sell. You need to master how to find a low competition niche. So an example of a higher competition niche would be something like a shirt for a teacher. It could say something like best teacher ever, or this teacher loves her students. But a low competition niche would be something like this teacher loves pickleball and her cats. It's kind of crazy that someone would want to buy a shirt that is that specific, but really these hyper specific niches are what makes up the bread and butter of my print-on-demand business and a lot of other sellers. There definitely is a difference between something that has low competition that nobody is looking for, or something that has low competition that still has quite a few monthly searches. That's why it's really important that you are investing in some sort of research tool to help you on your print on demand journey. I have two favorites, one for Etsy and one for Amazon. The one for Etsy is going to be Sales Samurai. It really just helps you figure out what is going to be a great product to sell and to figure out some of those SEO things that are really hard to master. I actually have a tutorial for that here. And then I also recommend Merch Informer for finding great low competition niches for Amazon and places like Redbubble, TeePublic, and Zazzle. I really rely on Merch Informer for all of those. So I'll also link a video for that here. But it's really tempting to not spend any money on tools, but when you're first getting started, I think spending money on a research tool is not money wasted, and it's going to help you actually make more profit in your business. Definitely don't wait to get one of those. I will link both of them down in the description too if you are interested in getting a subscription to either of those. The next piece of advice that is so important for print on demand sellers to grasp goes right hand in hand with that last piece of advice that I shared, and that is once you find a good niche, don't just copy what's already there. No, I know a lot of you aren't just exactly copying the shirt that you find that's trending and throwing it on your own shirt, but a lot of times I see people using a different font and a little bit of a different graphic, but almost taking the exact same idea and then putting it on their own shirt. The way you are going to be able to stand out in this is you find those low competition, high demand niches, and then you evaluate what is already there and see what you can improve on or help yourself stand out. So if there's already a shirt in that niche that looks almost identical to the one you're creating, why is a customer going to pick yours over theirs when theirs has probably been up longer? So what my strategy typically is I will find a trending shirt or a trending niche, and then I'm going to do a few things to try and stand out. So the first and easiest one is you can pick to design your shirt on a different color than what they already have. Usually on places like Amazon and Etsy, black shirts are almost standard. That's going to be the biggest seller for any niche. So right away, just by picking another color to design for, you are standing out. And then the next thing that I like to try and do is I'm going to try to pick a more interesting layout. Sometimes I will take the words that are on a trending niche or design, and then I'm going to go to someplace like Kittl or Canva and take a look at the templates that they have and see if I can plug those words into a way that looks really professional and well done, that's not just a few lines of text with a slapped on graphic. Or another thing I love to do is I see if most of those designs out there are just text designs, I see if there's any way that I can kind of elevate it by adding some graphics or some different design elements to the shirt just to make it a little bit different than what's already there. So you want to give customers a reason to pick your design instead of what has already been published and has been established on the site. So this is really a great way to break into any niche that you want to. This next tip is one that I haven't really ever shared before, but it is something that I pretty much live and die by in my own business, and that is making daily checklists and sticking to them every single day you're working on your print on demand business. There are so many elements to designing, uploading, researching, doing SEO and titles that it's really easy to get sidetracked, especially when you're figuring out something that you don't know. I found myself in the past getting sucked down rabbit holes watching video after video or tutorials and then not staying on task about what I actually need to do every single day to accomplish things and make progress in my business. So what I see time and time again is the people that are having success are daily uploading new designs, finding out what those new niches are, and just consistently uploading. So not every design that you upload is going to have success, but if you're doing enough of it consistently, you are going to have success in your print on demand business. So what I typically like to do is every single day, I am going to sit down and evaluate what I want to do. I always have a number of designs that I'd like to get uploaded every single day. So I will physically either write those out on a piece of paper or I'm going to type them up on a to-do list in my laptop. So usually I'll say things like find this many new niches or phrases and have check marks for all of those. I'll also have create X amount of new designs and then have those as checklist items too. And then upload X amount of products. And then if I have extra tasks that I'd also like to do, like posting on social media for some of my Etsy pages, I'll also write those down, or mastering new skills, you can always put those on the checklist too. But even though this seems really simple, I find that it helps me stay on task and actually do the things that are going to move the needle in my business. This also really helps motivate me to get things done a lot faster because I just love checking them off my list, and then I feel so accomplished with my whole day if I just get those uploads that I want to done. This seems like simple advice, but just try it for a few weeks, writing down the amount of uploads that you want to do and then checking them off as the process goes, and I feel like you're going to accomplish more. The next piece of advice is one that I have said many times, but I still see a lot of people not doing this. And this is, you need to be diversifying the different streams of income in your online business. If you are wanting to sell print on demand, it's awesome if you get started with your first platform. But you really need to start thinking about where else can you be selling these products. You're doing so much work just researching, creating these designs, so it seems like kind of a waste if you're only putting them on one site. I think you should at a minimum be selling on 3 print-on-demand platforms, my top choices definitely being Merch by Amazon, Etsy integrated with Printify, and then someplace like Redbubble or TeePublic or Zazzle as your third choice. You can definitely do more than 3 too. What I like about this is that all of these different sites have a little bit of a different audience. So while something might not do well on one site, on another it might sell really well. In the beginning, just making a few $100s on one site, that is great, but that's not really going to change your life in a huge way. But if you're making a few $100s on several different sites, that really starts to make a huge impact with not too much more effort. So definitely expand what sites you're on. As you figure out print on demand and get established, I also think it's a great idea for print on demand sellers to start venturing into another passive income online business that really goes hand in hand with print on demand. There's things like making low content books, making digital downloads. The possibilities are really endless, and if you're comfortable doing print on demand, I know those other businesses are going to be super easy for you. This is just going to help protect you and your business because not only are you building additional revenue streams that are going to help make this more of a full-time business, you're also protecting yourself if your Amazon or your Etsy account gets shut down one day and you lose a huge source of revenue. Hopefully you built up 5 or 6 other ones that can help supplement that in the event that you lose one of them, instead of losing everything that you've worked so long for. I actually have a recent video where I shared some of my top choices for digital products that could go hand in hand with print on demand, so make sure you give that a watch for some really good ideas of what digital products would be really easy for you to implement into your business. The next piece of advice that I really want to give to all new sellers is to price your items to actually make profit when they sell. Way too often I'm seeing new sellers, they really want to break into print on demand and they just are motivated to make sales. They don't even care about making profit. So they're pricing their items pretty much as low as they can go, making $0 to like $1 of profit. And while this strategy might have worked a little bit in the past to just give you some traction and to really incentivize people to purchase your product over others, now that there is just generally so many more products on Amazon and Etsy, just going by price is still a really hard way to stand out. If you're in a really low competition niche, there's not too many options for your buyer to consider, so they're already incentivized to purchase your product even if it's a few dollars more. But if you're in a higher competition niche and you're trying to stand out by putting your prices lower, if this is a niche with a ton of competition, there's already hundreds of other people that are pricing their products as low as they can go. So generally, I find that when I kind of price in the middle of the pack is when I'm making the most sales. I used to recommend pricing all of your standard t-shirts at that $19.99 mark. That was really my sweet spot for a long time. But now with a lot of the sites like Amazon and Printify raising their prices, I've started to price all of my new t-shirts at $21.99, and that has not seen any decrease in sales. I think that's working really well. And just with the general increase in prices everywhere, I think that that over $20 price is going to start to become the new normal for pretty much everyone. I always love to make at least $5 on every product that I'm selling. If I make any less than that, it oftentimes just doesn't seem worth the effort and time. So pricing at $21.99 has been working great. For my sweatshirts, I used to price around $30, but last year I started moving up all of my prices to either $35.99 or $39.99 for sweatshirts, depending on what the niche is and what the competition is for that. And both of those prices have been selling really well for me. There's a few more reasons I really love to suggest pricing your items higher than you are, because I think that lower price is a deterrent, and I share more about that in this video here if you do want to hear some more reasons for raising the prices on your items. But if you're making zero profit right now, there's no reason that you shouldn't be making money on every sale that you're making. So raise those prices up. If you're still struggling with how to actually find those low competition, high demand niches, even if you've got a lot of the other aspects of print on demand down, I definitely want to recommend you watch either this video with the best research tool for Etsy, or this one with the best research tool for Merch by Amazon and some other print on demand sites. Those are really going to walk you through why you need a research tool and how it can help you and your business actually make more sales. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.